Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and if you have jumped to this video, this is actually the part 2 of the podcast that I did in Bangalore. In fact, I shot the video, this podcast, actually on February 24th. Sandeep, who's a good friend of mine, we were just chatting, and he told me, whenever you're coming to Bangalore, why don't we do a podcast and you can share your experience of using the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, as I have been using this one for quite some time from last year. For most of the photographs and stuff that I do when I travel, I use the smartphone. So he told, why not we can have a casual podcast. So we did that, and suddenly in the middle of the video, actually they showcased me the 15 Ultra, and that was the first time actually I saw the 15 Ultra, to be very frank guys. And yes, I still don't have the 15 Ultra unit. They told me yes, the review unit will come on later, so I don't have the unit as of now with me. And we had to actually split this podcast into 2 parts because Sandeep told that as we have shown the 15 Ultra to you and they spoke about it, that will be shown in this part of the video. It was under embargo till yesterday, that is March 2nd. That's why I had to split that podcast into 2 because the first part I was talking about the 14 Ultra, that was not in the embargo, but this part, as they were talking about the 15 Ultra and it was unreleased, it was in an embargo. That's why the video was split in 2 parts. But again, there was no agenda or something. We were just having casual conversation, and in this part of the video, basically the first 20 minutes I was asking a lot of questions about the 15 Ultra and what are some of the differences that you might have based on the usage of 14 Ultra. So the first 20 minutes is that. In the last 10 minutes of this podcast, I was just asking general questions about AI, AR, VR, and that kind of stuff. So again, if you just jump to this video, it might not make sense. The first part of the video where I was talking a lot about the 14 Ultra and the evolution of this one, I'll leave the link in the description. So anyways, here is the part 2.
It is physically bigger.
It is bigger, yeah.
Okay, I like the dual tone texture on this one.
So this is designed to look very similar, like a proper camera, right? Like the M11, which Anuj was also.
Yeah, the M11 actually has the same finish.
Oh, nice.
So it's
Nice.
inspired by that.
Okay.
Almost connected to the 100 years of Leica, and hence the legend kind of a design.
Now, as you have shown me this one, we go a little bit deeper? What is it?
Sure.
What is the difference?
Yeah, but what is your first thought on the overall design itself?
I like it. Even this was a very good design wise. And yeah, the back texture is different. I'm actually using it with the case only.
Okay.
I didn't have the, what do you say?
Guts.
Caseless. I didn't. So you'll see this is pristine.
Yeah.
And I like this also.
Yeah.
Okay. This is more grippier, I would say.
Yeah.
Slightly
There's
more.
a slight
grippier.
difference in texture.
But I think so most people who buy this will use it with the case, I guess.
Maybe.
Fair enough, yeah. No, I think especially,
It's more pronounced, definitely more pronounced.
It is.
Yeah.
So the fact that it does so much of what a camera can do, why not also have aesthetics that look more like a camera, right?
Okay.
This is something you can truly flaunt. Like when you're taking a photo, you're actually making a statement with this. So I'm sure this will turn a lot of heads and a lot of people will see this and love it. Yeah. Well, I think before we sort of dive into specs and other things, I think the overall idea of this was to sort of go further in terms of the versatility when it comes to the cameras.
Okay.
Yes, we did have an ultra wide, we did have a 3.2x, we did have a 5x zoom.
Yeah.
But what if you want to go even further, and what if you want to match the quality across all of this, right? I think that's where we
You'll zoom even more or what?
zoom more.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, zoom as a number, not more.
Yeah.
But zoom as clarity and usable images,
Yes.
a lot more.
Correct.
Okay.
So you would want to, like you have been gravitating towards using 3.2 a lot more. With this, we are sure that you would want to use the telephoto, the Periscope one a lot more as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, at least, what I'd never realized, right?
Yeah.
Because I've also been doing the 75mm shots for the last 2 years. What I didn't realize is with this capability of going a lot further, you're able to capture things which you didn't really think was possible earlier.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of those captures, which gives a unique perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why I also end up using the 135mm a lot. I like that very tight framing and the compressed background. In some cases, you get some really good output.
Maybe
as
I
well.
should show Ranjit a couple of these photographs that I ended up taking at Zoom.
Okay.
Which I think looks spectacular.
Okay.
So this is at about 25 to 30x.
Seriously?
Yeah. You can verify. XF is right there. Yeah.
It looks so sharp.
That's the advantage.
So what? This is just the camera optics or AI and doing a background stuff?
A bit of both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the camera optics
Actually
itself.
looks very sharp for 25x. Because I know other brands are doing that 20x, 30x.
Yeah.
I know with that 25x or 30x, how much? Okay, boss. Let's not.
How much can you push it?
Let's. You shouldn't zoom.
So this is unlike, I think, anything else you've seen before.
Yeah. You told me it's 25. I thought I won't believe it.
And I think it's also further.
Actually, Anuj, you should take that 1x and then the 20. Then it makes a big impact.
1x you can't see anything actually.
Just take a random image and say this is 1x.
Oh. Wow.
So I got a lot of these, and that I ended up shooting.
Actually, this makes a lot of sense. Photographs like this. Now I understand that mega zoom.
That's what I'm saying. So it unlocks a new perspective. That's what I would say. Until then, you're like, why does it
seriously?
exist? Why?
Yeah.
But then once you start using it, is when you'll appreciate it more. And in fact, for the longest time, when I started photography, I used to be all about the ultra wide. And I used to think that's great, which is also true because it's a new perspective still and it's nice. But then once you start getting into telephoto and seeing how it compresses things, the background separation you get, then you start realizing it's a whole lot more valued or something that you can use more creatively.
Yeah, I mean, are these cameras? So right now there are 4 cameras at the back, right?
Yeah.
Each of them have a different use case. Each of them are better than the others when it comes to that use case or that kind of a scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. But yeah, what Sandeep was also saying, like trying to get that color science across all.
Yeah.
This was also good at the color science thing.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about this one because when you move between different focal lengths, it doesn't look like okay, it's shot from a different smartphones. Some brands do that, especially ultra wide is like you can make out.
Yeah.
It's different.
So that's also sort of the thing, right? Blurring the line between a camera and smartphone. Now, a camera, essentially, whatever focal length you shoot, you get the same output in terms of the optical quality and the image quality. But here also, we're trying to do that.
Okay.
And obviously, it's a constant process of improving and upgrading. And I think this is one of the best cameras that I've seen. Now, I'm not talking about smartphones specifically.
No, the detail that we got at this zoom level.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
I think so.
pretty
People who
insane.
buy this will take those zoom shots. Are like, okay, this much sharp. Oh, this.
Now, so you like for example in this case, right? You're looking at this image of a parrot.
Apparently, like
You can't get so close to that.
You can't.
Simply,
Without actually annoying it or
They'll
it
fly
just
off.
getting they fly off, correct.
So things like that which you couldn't capture earlier, even with the 75 now I'm able to do this and a perfectly usable kind of image.
and this is because of that 200 megapixel whatever.
Correct.
we
Yes,
have.
yes. The sensor itself is upgraded, right?
Much larger.
Much larger, higher pixel density as well. So which means then you're actually able to zoom in a lot more
Okay.
without really having any downsides to that zooming. It's almost as good as optical.
Okay.
I won't say as good.
Obviously.
Optical is obviously, but it's very
So
close
you can
to that.
punch into the sensor and get
much
more,
much further. Correct.
Okay.
So I think it was interesting when we've also tried it on 1x, etc. But when you put it on a telephoto, when you put it on a Periscope telephoto at that range, that's when you actually get the benefits of it. And the OIS is also even more stronger now, so that you get, even at that focal length, you get that stable shots as well.
Otherwise, once you get to 20-30x, right, you feel like you're playing PUBG. You don't know how to aim.
In some of the models, there is a like crossbar also. You try to.
Yeah.
So in this also you can actually see it kick in. It just stabilizes and then it's there, and you have the zoomed out one as well, and you can choose where you want to sort of position it. But I think the output is absolutely incredible, and obviously once you start experiencing it, that's when you'll truly notice what is majorly different.
And what about the main sensor? Last year it was a 1-inch sensor, right?
Yeah,
that
same.
stays the same.
And that's the best sensor you can get right now for smartphones.
Yes. But the sensor stays the same, but the ISP has improved.
The elite.
So
ISP,
and the processing,
lenses,
everything
processing,
else has improved. So technically, even with that remaining constant, everything else has improved, and hence output is better.
Actually, the biggest, apart from the zoom part of it, the biggest change that I got was the improvement in portraits.
Okay.
So the portraiture is now far better. I think the color science for Leica is a little different.
Yeah.
So when you're taking a portrait, it'll not pump up or saturate the colors as much as some of the other phones that you see out there. But realistic, good-looking portraits, I think the whole mood aspect is captured really well on this one.
Absolutely.
Even on this one, the 14 Ultra, there were two, Leica mode, and there was this master
portrait. Yeah.
So master is like your Xiaomi's interpretation of what a photograph should be like, right?
No, so that's basically the Leica and Vibrant in the stock one. So master is still more or less emulating two different kind of Leica lenses. So the Vibrant one is basically what a smartphone maker or maybe your audience would like, slightly more punchier, slightly contrasted.
Instagram shareable.
Correct.
And authentic is the
Leica one, yeah. So that emulates the Leica, this thing. But on the other side, portrait side, you had master and Leica, which is again a different type of lens that you would use. So certain lenses have a certain aesthetic quality. How are you emulating that? So it's not just the color science of it, but rather the vignetting, the overall contrast, the blur in the background. So these are the things that are changing. So most people think it's just the colors, but it's not. It's actually a lot of other things that are also changing.
Okay.
Yeah, and like Anuj said, there are a bunch of other portrait options also where you can play around with the bokeh in the background, make it a bit more linear, make it a bit more stretched, which looks very good. So many options are there. Again, figuring out what is the fine line between overdoing it and getting the right bunch of options.
Like, I still haven't been able to get the perfect settings on the Pro mode. So I've been playing around with those settings because you can save that setting now. I've not been able to do that, but
the
fast shot works well.
4K 120. That's also there. 4K 120 FPS video.
But that'll be what with the main lens, right?
The main and the telephoto, the Periscope.
Even on the Periscope?
On both you can do it, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So essentially the idea is that, especially if you're doing speed ramping, right? You're shooting something high speed and all that. You shoot it as it is, and when you want, you can basically cut it down and slow it down. So that looks quite dramatic if you want.
Now, as we're talking about the ISP, the 8 Elite, even the last generation was very good. I'm talking in terms of video. Do we get slightly better video quality now with this one?
So I think especially from the 12 series onwards, we have been trying to continuously improve that. But now with Dolby Vision and extended HDR and the fact that you can even shoot HLG videos, right? We are having all that option to improve the video quality or the output. And I think consistency there also is something that we've been constantly working on. So it is much better.
So direct log recording is there on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a new log mode also, right? Which the filmmaker can
the filmmaker. So this is again heavily indexed on video. So there's a new film log mode which is actually supported by Hollywood. That grading of a log is what this actually supports on the film.
No, this I'm being very selfish because whenever I'm doing this outdoor, shoots or like vehicle shoot, I never like to carry those heavy cameras and all that. It's a big pain. Okay. So I generally take the smartphone and like when you have these, apart from the audio, that can be solved, that generally I use an external mic. But again, having a log or something gives you that flexibility. Okay, something wrong you did.
You can sort of fix it.
Get it up.
So that is, I mean, we had HLG already last time. But now it's just becoming even more exhaustive and better. Again, I think even personally, while I also used to shoot with cameras, I think now because it's so convenient and you're not really seeing an issue with the output.
And the focal lengths are like so good on these.
Correct. Yeah, that facility. So you can shoot from whatever angle.
One thing I liked on this one, the 14 Pro, I hope that's there even on this 15. With the 3x zoom also, I could actually get it pretty close to the objects.
The macro, macro is there.
Yes. Is it there? Because that is actually useful sometimes in some of the shots.
Yes, super macro is still there.
Okay.
So, I think I have a good macro shot also. No, that's actually
so that Periscope also looks so close.
So going on. I mean, technically,
it is able to focus.
Yeah, it can.
But obviously, once you get to Periscope, you can't try and do a macro with that.
You can't. There's a minimum focusing distance that is applied there. Yeah. So it is not that floating telephoto lens on the Periscope.
So that's on the 3x.
Yeah, 3x.
Okay.
But I think overall that versatility is something that you'll definitely notice a lot of difference. Yeah. But apart from that also, as a overall smartphone, still a lot of upgrades, a lot of benefits, improvements. But I think...
Can you highlight, we know it will come with the Elite process. That's the flagship. Apart from that, what? Because I'm looking at the camera only. But a normal person will look at the smartphone part also.
Yeah. So better battery life. I think battery is improved further.
I never had a battery issue for a typical working day, to be very frank. Yes, again, if I charge it every day at night, I didn't have any battery anxiety issues on this one. Yes, not a full 2-day device if you're traveling continuously on mobile data.
So I mean, I don't think there's any 2
No
day
device.
on mobile data.
Unless you heavily compromise on other things, and then you get that, I guess. Yeah.
So one thing which I don't think we have it in our web pages and all that whenever they go live is the network.
Okay.
The network on this is so strong.
Yeah.
So the other day, there's this person who was talking about quality of service in our testing team. So we test all the phones, right? So he picked up the latest and greatest, 1.5 lakh flagship. And we were testing. So he said, okay, let's get off the Wi-Fi and let's just do a 5G speed test.
That device, even the Wi-Fi reception is not that good because I test devices in my one location where like.
So, and we can probably run it here as well. You'd see on the same network, in the same position, one got 150 Mbps, which I think is a great speed
Achha, on 5G. Okay.
on 5G, which is good speed.
Yeah, nice.
This one was hitting 600.
Wow. 4x.
Yeah.
That's a huge improvement. Same network. Yeah. That's
Same network, same space. And this was also like inside the building.
Okay.
nice.
So, and I've also seen sometimes, even when I'm in my building elevator, normally everything has gone off. Right?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Sometimes this still connects.
This still connects. Yeah. That's true.
So we worked on,
Better antenna design.
so it's still at the end of it a phone, and it does a better phone.
Actually, that's an interesting point, right? Like, because not many people talk about it until and unless they face an issue with it.
Correct.
Don't want to name drop, but you guys know. I mean,
Yeah, because I know many people like they have to use Wi-Fi calling because
The
the
phone-
reception inside some area of the house or whatever simply is not good.
Yeah. But even when you're out and about, there are some phones that people have told me it's horrible to use. Like
They are quite
basically
a
2-3 bars lower than what other phones are giving, which is crazy actually.
Bars, I think, is still kind of more of an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
But are you able to get a call through? Are you able to get the speeds?
and sometimes it'll show in some devices that 5G is there or whatever, that full signal will show. But when I try to scroll the Twitter feed over like
Loading.
so and sometimes you have to go in the airplane mode, then force it back, then it'll load first.
Yeah, I think that's also there.
So that's there. So I think right from one, it's obviously a camera device, right? It's the ultimate camera that is
Obviously,
what
who's
we're going
purchasing
for.
this one? That's the focus.
So make it look like a camera, make it act like a camera, and then beyond that, I think give a really good phone.
Yes, flagship.
Go to flagship phone.
So you're telling battery also is larger on this one.
Yes, larger and more optimized.
Okay.
Obviously, 8 Elite also has its own share. of
8 Elite,
improvements.
I would say it's a very good processor. I'll give this analogy like people ask me, okay, should I upgrade from this processor? Okay, boss, already your 8 Gen 3, let's say it's doing 300 kilometers per hour. Then 8 Elite will do 350. Realistic speaking, except for benchmarks, will you be doing that, touching that?
No, rarely.
But one thing I like, I don't know if with this one, some of the 8 Elites I have tested. In a regular usage, let's say driving your car on a highway 80 to 100, 8 Elite is optimized very well. I'm getting very good battery life. But when I start doing benchmarks and really pushing,
But yeah, I think benchmarks.
that's
Any
not
phone
realistic.
would, yeah.
I am like, a device should perform well for your daily task. That is like highway pe 80 pe 100 pe ja raha hu.
I think beyond a certain point, those Antutu benchmarks don't really end up meaning much.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I remember getting really excited once. This is back in 2015. One of our phones hit 50,000 on Antutu. That was like a big deal.
How far we have come, no?
Now like
50,000.
million.
Yeah, that's true. Million is also.
So, but that time, because the next best phone was at some 41 or 42, and you got 50, so it was a big jump.
Big jump, correct.
I remember when we were launching the Note 7 Pro. That was Snapdragon 675. And that did some 170 or 180,000 on Antutu. And that was like a huge jump because the previous one was 110.
Yeah.
But now, for example, if I am at 1.1 million and the next device is 1.4 million,
True.
I think so. For practical reasons, above 1 million is a very good device if you have optimized it well.
Yeah.
These are touching that 8 like 2.6, 2. Like crazy. Like okay, I'll do video editing on this.
Yeah. I mean, technically.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So that's essentially the 15 Ultra.
Okay.
Hopefully, you like it enough. But
So this is officially launching, what do you say, quickly in India, not like last time.
that depends on the factories and supply chain, so
okay.
can't really comment. But yes, we are bringing it in. So at least all the people who got the 14 Ultra, we've got really good feedback.
Acha, how because this was a niche device, and I feel that this is still a niche device. So how were the sales specifically in India? And let's not talk about the global thing.
So limited quantities that we got. So unfortunately, I think we ran out fairly early.
Yeah, 14 Ultra we ran out. Yeah.
So we ran out, and these were all brought in, right? So we didn't make these in India. So these were part of the global shipments. So we couldn't make more.
Okay.
But that said, I think more on the consumer satisfaction part of it, people who knew what they were buying, which was majority of the people were understanding what kind of camera they're getting into, and to play around with that. I think those people really liked it. Like you, a couple of others also had that feedback in terms of photography kit or the selfie camera and stuff like that. So those are improvement areas for us. Hopefully this one kind of hits that mark.
Yeah.
So the selfie you were telling is improved on this one.
Selfie has definitely improved, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll notice that difference for sure.
Well, sometimes when you're vlogging or something, I use the selfie like for the intro and something. So I want that also to be in the...
Sure.
I've not taken a selfie in I don't know how many years.
selfie, I'm not talking about selfie, like talking.
As a vlog.
Intro.
Yeah.
Intro kind of a thing. Yeah. So like if it's done just from one device, easier.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. Fair feedback, and I think we've already made those changes, most of it, whatever possible. And then it's a continuous process. We'll still figure out whatever we can improve.
Okay. So cool. Looks actually nice. And in fact, weight difference also not that much. This is with the case, in fact. Okay, I thought it will become, because of this back ring, become bulkier.
Yeah. No, it's actually pretty handy, and I think the finish is very good. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's also inspired by our SU7 Ultra. So there's that Ultra logo there, which is like the SU7 Ultra itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Yes. And please, when you launch, please give this case at least in the box.
Yeah, this was there in the box.
This was, and I liked it. Yeah. The case quality was good. Everything.
No, there will be a case.
And it protects it.
Yeah, I mean you'll get an interesting case this time. You can see.
Again, the big boxes you're sending. That was actually very huge. Like wearing that retail edition. This is something is wrong, boss.
That was too expensive.
I still have that box because it looks so good.
Yeah,
it has that leatherish look and all this.
Correct. So we wanted to match the back of the 14 Ultra. Correct. Yeah, so
you guys must have spent quite a bit on the box.
That's what I'm just saying.
That cost quite a lot. And beyond that, shipment was also painful.
Yes, because it was huge.
And each box had to be manually assembled.
Correct. So
you had to put the phone in, you had to put that cover.
I mean, there was a separate, like Anuj mentioned, a separate team for that itself, just to get those things right. And
And this time, again, because there is a trend, charger is coming in the box.
Yeah.
Okay, you're following that standard. Okay, nice. Nice to see.
It saves a lot of money though if you remove the charger.
But Anuj, what I'm noticing is that because the PD charging standards and everything have changed, I have some universal PD chargers, though the specific device will not come with a charger. And they say that you can use any generic charger. But I'm trying to use the generic PD chargers. I'm simply not able to get those charging speeds, what they claim.
Right.
Yeah. No. That's there.
Then eventually if you want that, whatever that exact 45 watt charging or that 50 watt, I'll have to end up purchasing that charger. And I think that is creating even more environmental whatever they are talking.
See, I think we once had this discussion back in 2016.
Long back. Yeah.
Long back, after one of the launches where I think you were also there and we were discussing putting earphones, charger, cable, this in the box. And
yeah, you used to get earphones. Now I don't know.
So, but the point was most people will end up comparing phone to phone.
Yeah.
Right? So if one phone costs 100 rupees, the other phone also costs 100 rupees for them. They end up forgetting the rest of the stuff which actually costs.
Okay.
So if I'm removing the charger, right?
And these fast chargers must be costing these 100 watt or whatever, like at least 2.5, 3K.
Yeah, correct.
At least.
So you save that money, you are making that extra profit. But if people don't kind of see that value, then you don't really lose much. Right?
Because I have been getting this problem, some smartphones without the charger, and users tell me like, okay, we bought a generic PD charger on Amazon, but still
not getting the speed.
The brand claims so much, and ultimately you'll have to buy that specific charger for that to get those.
That's true.
They made a joke of the PD standard also. There's so many
Variations of that.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Like the HDMI standards.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a mess.
I think most people, I don't think I also understand it fully. HDMI especially is too complicated.
Yeah, the 2.2, 2.1 spec and all those things. Oh, crazy. And you need special cables also.
Correct.
Because I'm into home theater thing. Oh my god, crazy it is. So it's nice. So I want to add any. So you're telling it is launching in India.
Yes. it
Time
is
frame
coming.
you can't
Yes.
announce.
This time there's no ambiguity around that.
But time frame, no. You know,
So not
not
don't
too
know.
much delayed, like 2 months.
Hopefully not.
Hopeful. Hope is a word.
No, I think you'll get more details as
Okay.
Yeah.
we go. But
So
yeah.
in the next couple of days, we should have a bit more information.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool,
But
cool.
yeah, I think quite excited from our side. Even more so, I think this is a phone where Anuj ranks up high there with the 13 Pro, which was his beloved.
So I used
phone
the
as well.
13 Pro for
Ah,
2
you
years.
actually-
Yeah. So
Right.
he used it for 2 years. So now he's finally switched to this. So this is
I think that's the longest I've used a phone, a smartphone ever.
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 Wow.
So cool. And I think so. We should make this an annual event.
Yeah, we should. Whenever,
Generally talk. Okay. If we have time, I just wanted to hear from both of you, industry experts, about AI. What is AI? Because AI, what we have, I'm seeing in the smartphones. Okay, this image removal, remove that person. That is the.
No, we had that for years actually.
That's the new AI.
yeah.
Eraser was always there.
Always there.
So what do you think? I feel AI should offer some practical usage feature or something. Do you think that'll happen or no? That'll happen only in the desktop thing because
So desktop, like for example, using ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and all that, I think is
way.
it is actually a lot more valuable. So much so that a lot of times I don't even go to Google to search now. I'm putting in questions and it's giving me a very pointed answer instead of the
Consolidated,
normal.
yeah.
It saves time.
Correct.
It saves
Yeah.
time.
Plus analysis and all that. How does that translate into your phone?
Well, now we have Gemini almost on every Android smartphone.
Correct.
Earlier Pixel was
Correct,
keeping it a
correct.
little bit exclusive, but now they have opened it up.
Correct.
So those kind of question answers is good. Now the other AI tools, I think, like writing tools, imaging tools, those are good to have.
Yeah.
I don't think they're making such a big difference that people end up buying or not buying a
Yeah,
device.
because
for that.
last year I've seen a push with some brands, just AI. And when, nice to have features, it's like your benchmark.
Yeah.
You'll try it once or twice, and
then that's
what
it.
the feedback I got from users is like, okay, yes, we have those features, but we're hardly using it.
No, that's true. I think convenience, right? How do you make things more convenient, quicker? I think that's
Make my
where
life easier.
Yeah, make life easier. I think that's where
That
it
assistant should be a real.
Yes, I think that's where AI should and will trend towards. Right now, it's more or less stuff that is eye-catching,
So we
but
are
not necessarily in a long-term
the
use.
experimental phase on smartphones.
I think it's
Yeah.
just initial phase,
Correct.
right? It's
Before we truly understand.
so
yeah.
normally every technology goes through a hype cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went up really quickly.
Too much
Now there's some consolidation happening.
Okay.
But if it's a genuinely useful technology, then over the next couple of years, it'll gradually become better and better
Correct.
at solving your problems. Right?
I think AI is here to stay, if that is also part of the question that you're asking. It's here to stay, but the form that it is in currently, I think maybe that might change.
It's just
Yeah.
initial days.
Correct.
You're
So
trying
everybody
out.
experimenting, just throwing this thing on the
Yeah,
wall.
it's not like 3D for sure. 3D came and went, and that most people knew it would go away, I guess. But yeah, this is here to stay at least. So,
Okay.
Yeah, 3D is. I was counting on it.
yeah, that was just a headache. Yeah.
And people used to get like 3D TVs. Yeah. I think 2 years. That's it.
3D TVs, there were 3D phones. Like
Oh, yeah, there was like
there
one or
were
two.
phones with stereoscopic displays as well. It was just and it was a weird time. I mean, yeah, experimenting. Yeah.
That's why I still can't get my head over that VR headset. But you can't just wear it like for a couple of hours every day and do your stuff, man. You'll go nuts. Looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it looks cool.
No, looks cool to you, not the other person.
I'm
looking
like,
at
what are you doing, boss? So again, that VR also the big hype or whatever. I feel like, okay, boss.
Maybe mixed reality, right? I think we were having this
We were having
conversation.
a conversation on
Yeah.
mixed reality
Yeah.
or augmented reality.
AR
could be
Yeah.
useful.
AR, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, without those big,
Yeah, it has to be like what you're wearing right now, effortless.
has to be
And
in
then,
the
yeah.
specs or something.
Like I had huge hopes with the HoloLens, Microsoft,
There is
and
slash
I don't know where it went.
Project
Like,
is gone.
First, I got really excited about Kinetic. Or Connect.
Connect,
Okay.
yeah.
Connect was really cool.
Yeah, that
The gestures and
Yeah.
For that time,
Yeah,
it was
that
actually
time.
very good.
yeah.
This is Xbox 360 and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time,
yeah.
right?
15 years, no?
Yeah,
Almost,
that's what. For that time, it was revolutionary.
Correct.
I thought this was going to change everything.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
also
killed
thought
it.
because of that, in smartphones, you don't have to touch, or at least on computers, okay, I can do this,
Yeah.
that. Like Minority Report.
I did see a lot of patents also at that time, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on the phones especially, just do this, that.
all of it went.
So
Yeah.
let's hope the AI doesn't become that.
I mean, at least, so I end up using it for certain complex analysis and all that on a
Okay.
daily
Yeah,
basis
But that must be on the computer, right?
on the computer.
Yeah, obviously.
But computer is supposed to be a workstation,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So from a work perspective, it's definitely helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But looking at the capabilities, like you can download DeepSeek and run it locally, right? So something like that happening onto your phone could change a lot of things from both privacy and problem solving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like an assistant.
Correct.
Where it knows my stuff, but I don't want it to go every time to the cloud.
Yes.
So I'm
And
like clear,
so-
okay, it's not sharing my data.
Yes. So
and then it will
contextually-
help me. Become a
contextually
real
aware.
Jarvis.
Yeah. Basically, it has to be contextually aware. It has to be passive, not every time that you initiate, like do this, but
Yeah.
rather when you're
Give me a
doing
suggestion,
something. Like if
For
it's-
example, I was coming here. It should have, okay, traffic is, Ranjit, you leave at this time.
correct. It knows
Instead of
that.
me like checking, okay,
Which
traffic
is true.
what's
Like
it?
it knows that you
I'm a meeting.
you come to a meeting at 10. You need to reach at this time. Hence, leave this time.
For-
But then
for
that
that
takes
means
away
that-
the Google Maps fun, right? So the Google Maps thing is depending on if suppose it shows you 30 minutes. If you can make it in 29 minutes, then you're Tokyo Drift.
It's like that meme, right? Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
So that's AI for me. It
Oh.
can do that.
Yeah. No, I think it will
I
evolve.
think
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it was a nice conversation with you guys.
Yes.
And I hope to see this one quickly.
Yes.
Let's,
Sure.
Yes.
So that's a
Again,
good sign, right? That
Yeah.
means Ranjit's gonna spend another bunch of money buying this.
Yeah.
Actually, last time, like ordering also, I had a problem and all those things. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I think that's all sorted. We have had several other pre-orders also since then, so it should be fine. Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. And again, pleasure, Anuj, talking to you.
Great having you.
Yes. Thank you so
Let's-
much. Yes.
Let's see if I come to Bangalore again after 7 8
Yeah,
months.
I
We'll do a
think-
casual conversation.
Yes.
And maybe I'll find the flaws and all those things. And let you know.
No,
Sure,
I mean, I don't think there's any device that's 100%
Without-
perfect.
Yeah,
correct.
people ask me, name a device Ranjit, that is perfect. Well, I'm not there and won't be.
Yeah, there isn't.
So there was this analogy that someone asked me, tell me a setting on the camera that's good for every situation.
No.
So I'm like, that's auto. That's all you can do. Like, so that person bought a DSLR and that person was finding it difficult to capture photos in different
Oh,
scenarios.
okay.
Like, there's nothing like that. And then I said, put it in auto and
Auto
capture.
mode
That's
and
all
just
you can do.
capture, yeah.
But there's no one setting fits all. So
Obviously.
I think that's
It's like bikes and cars also. You can't
Correct.
like give me a perfect car or
Yeah.
perfect bike. No,
yeah,
boss.
there's
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, if that happens, then we'll stop growing as a society.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, we keep
Great
pushing.
note.
If
Yeah.
you look at smartphones, because last 5-6 years also, and now they've become so good.
Yeah.
But still, like, okay, this is
That's always there.
yeah.
cool. Fine.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Catch you later. And hopefully, we'll have this soon.
Yes. Thanks.
Thanks.